PDP victory. The road now run, the journey rough. We foot strong and our skin tough. So many dots have been thrown at us. Real Spartans never give up. The winds of change blowing your way. Bust off those chains. It's a brand new day. It's not a dream. It is for real. We have jubilee. PDP victory. Yeah. PDP victory. Tobagonians are born fighters. Carry the genes of our ancestors. You change hands so many times, mama. To get your freedom, you have to fight back. I see the many scars upon your back. Wage war against the oppressor.
The following is a paid political broadcast.
PDP victory. The road now run, the journey rough. We foot strong and our skin tough. So many dots have been thrown at us. Real Spartans never give up. The winds of change blowing your way. Bust off those chains. It's a brand
Special good evening to the audience. Wow. This is Thursday. And our topic for tonight is a very interesting one. It's about money. Work hard, get paid less, time to end the wage discrimination. And I can see some of you down there eager to hear how we're going to end the pay discrimination in our country. We're going to get to that. Let me thank the host for introducing me. And let me thank the guy who said they would have prayer for us. I mean, those prayers are good. They are a stick of dynamite that will cause the demons to flee from here. Tobago, good evening. Roxborough, good evening. Palatavere, good evening. Canaan, good evening. Mariah, Charleville, and all over Tobago, good evening. I can see you there this evening with your notes ready to take up the information, and we are going to get right into it.
Yes, PDP all the way.
One of the problems that's facing us as Tobagonians is that we do not genuinely care for those who are under the poverty line. There are persons in Tobago who have studied hard, they have worked their entire life and hoped for an opportunity where they can be given a job and be paid decently. But instead of being given a serious job, you're given some Mickey Mouse duties and they are told, I only create this job because of you, and this is why I'm paying you these low wages, because this job is a created job. They also go further and say, I can't give you sick leave, you're not permanent. I can't give you maternity leave, you're not permanent. If you fall on the job, you have no injury leave because you're not permanent. Certainly, you cannot go on vacation. You know what I'm talking about. These workers here are the workers that can be found in URP, CPEP, yes, the Litter Eradication Program, LEP, reforestation, and many other kinds that they keep making up day by day by day. You all are Tobagonians, and you all have a right to eat from the table. As all Tobagonians, you must eat decently. Let me explain to you one of the challenges with that. To have a job in CPEP, URP, reforestation, LEP, LEAP, is to simply become a highly recognized slave. What do I mean? It means that your entire time of working, you cannot leave to go to Trinidad on a week vacation. You cannot leave to go to Barbados. Even if your mother dies in America, and God forbid, you can't even go and visit her. Even if you have a free ticket, you are tied to that job. Every single day of the week, you don't work, no pay. There are no rules. They can just fire you in the morning. So hence, one of my THA colleagues fired 400 persons from the CPEP. 400. Just came into the office, Say this morning is a meeting, he alone talking. No response. Bow. 4 persons went home by the stroke of a pen. Say they are reorganizing. 400 persons went home by the stroke of a pen. Say they are reorganizing CPEP. But those persons had mortgages, those persons had families, those persons had school fees, those persons were paying for transportation, those persons were living here in Tobago, and you did that to Tobagonian. We are saying tonight that we must end the pay discrimination tonight. They must not get rich and you remain poor. What good for the goose is good for the gander. And so what the PDP proposes tonight is a revolution in wages, a wage revolution. It means that the Mickey Mouse salary increase they gave to URP, which is from $79 a day to some $149 a day, seems like a whole lot. It is still not enough. Someone in URP is working for a salary as low as, and I'm going to tell you what it is just now. I want to get my figures right tonight, because sometimes with so much figures in your head, they get it wrong. So an unskilled laborer in URP, an unskilled laborer, prior to July 14, 2022, they were receiving per month, and let's look at it per month, $1,700 thereabout for a whole month. Someone is working in URP and they're getting $107,700, $1,700. That is what the Red and Dead Party gave them, and gave them that for 20 years, and then threatened them that if you vote for anyone else, you will lose a job. Well, the plaster from the other side made it a reality, in that persons lost their job, not Watson Solomon Duke. I spent my lifetime in labor. All human beings, mistakes will be made. But one thing I've learned, see, labor is your labor is your foundation of any society. Without labor, a society will be without a foundation. Those who sweep the streets, the barber, those who make your bed with sheets, those who cook food, those taxi drivers, these are the foundation of society. If you remove them, then you do not have a society. So let's respect labor. Let's respect labor. When you pay an unskilled laborer $1,700, as the Red and Dead Party was paying them, you are simply keeping them as slaves. They can't do nothing with that per month. Per month. When you consider the lowest rent you will get per month is $1,500. That's a real not so hot up looking place. But then come those who are blue but untrue. They came, and when they came, they preached that they are going to increase the salaries of workers. And one say, yeah, good thing. You know what happened next, people? You know what happened next? Plaster on sores. The unskilled laborer moved from $1,700 a month to $3,200 a month. The unskilled laborer, $1,700 a month to $3,200 a month. He's still the working poor. It was said that in 1996, the cost of feeding an adult, when worked out, was $1,600 a month. That just to feed an adult, $1,600 a month. When I sat with the former CPU as the president of the PSA, and I put before her a living wage really worked out for a public servant, worked out to about $10,000. That's a living wage. It worked out to that, $10,000, because in a living wage, 30% of your salary goes towards mortgage or rent. 30%. So all of the increase they gave to workers, the blue and untrue party, all of the increase was small increase. The highest paid person got an increase here was the charge hand of construction. He is getting $5,000. Before he was getting 3,000 something, he's now getting $5,000. That's the person with a barely an increase. What the PDP proposes, when we get into office, when you vote for PDP and give us the East and the West, we will negotiate with you in Trinidad where the moves take place, where decisions take place, and ensure that workers in our country who work for the government gets nothing less than $5,000. And I'll tell you why 5,000. So you mean all those unskilled laborers, they will start at 5,000. Yes, those who are working in the litter eradication program, they start at 5,000. Those who are working in reforestation, they will start at 5,000. Yeah. I'm saying the time has come when Tobagonians must get a fair and decent salary. We must no longer be the working poor. So with $5,000, 30% of that goes towards rent or mortgage. What is 30% of $5,000? $1,500. Yeah? And I'm sure with $1,500 going towards a rent or a mortgage, you could rise yourself down and say, all right, I now have how much money I will have? $3,500 now, on which I could buy some food, cook something, spend a little transportation, and at least sketch myself. I'd have to fight up with 2 and 3 work. And there's a reason why the worker must not do 2 and 3 jobs. There is something called work-life balance. And we'll get back to that. You must balance between your work and your life. So that's for the lowest paid workers in Tobago. $5,000 must be the minimum wage. And don't tell me I can't get it. I have gotten impossible for workers in this country. And this is why I've moved from a trade unionist to become a legislator. Because I am saying it must be written into the law that these are now the salaries, because we are trying to prevent poverty falling upon the lowest paid within this society. To avoid that, you must pay them and give them a minimum living wage, which varies from people to people. So $5,000, and the only person who's now getting that in URP or CPIP and these places is a charge hand. A charge hand. Everyone else is getting less than $5,000. Let me tell you that. Let me call some names. Unskilled laborers, tradesman assistant 1, tradesman assistant 2, tradesman assistant 3, foreman. Yeah? These circular drivers, tradesman carpenters, all are getting under 5,000. All of them under 5,000. It's wickedness. All of these little wardens up and down the place picking up trash. They have to put their name on bags and all kind of dehumanizing thing, and then they're paying them $2,000 a month. That can't work. It doesn't make sense. We have to build a Tobago where all persons must strive and not just survive. They must be able to live. And the PDP is saying we are going to up those salaries from $3,000 to a minimum threshold of $5,000. But we are going to go deeper. For those clerks and those persons who are in the public service, where I represented you all as the president of the Public Services Association for many years, did a sterling job. As a legislator, and that's why I need to go down to Trinidad. You need to send Watson Duke. You need to send my other partner. We are going to Trinidad in the next national elections. That's where laws are made. No laws are made in Tobago, none. We have to go to Trinidad. Tobago East, Tobago West must be PDP. We have 2 legislators there right now from the Red and Dead Party, and God knows the type of laws they are making. I want to get on the agenda a salary threshold for Tobagonians. We must not go underneath $5,000, and then we continue to move up now. We continue to move up now. We want to move up. For the clerks and these people, we are saying your rent is going to be a little bit different. More or less, a clerk will want to rent a 2-bedroom place because they are saying, I'm working, I get a government job, they feel as if I am responsible to at least have a child or 2 and have a decent place. A place with carpet, a place with tires, perhaps air condition. The lowest paid, the lowest will get an air conditioned place for in Trinidad, in Tobago. The lowest you get an air-conditioned place for is $2,000. $2,000. But you have to look beyond that. And if you are looking for a place at $2,000, with that being the 30% of the living wage, you are talking about a wage of about $6,700 thereabout. About $6,700. So we need to move our clerk salaries. They are now getting a little more than $5,000 to $6,700. I am not negotiating for you behind the table as a trade unionist. I'm going down to the parliament where laws are made and demand that. It's important that we get the two seats, the East and the West in Tobago, to bring balance to wage. It's a wage revolution. We have to ensure that we reorganize Tobago, and I'm talking about Tobago in particular, not Trinidad at this point in time. I'm talking about a representative for Tobago East and a representative for Tobago West, myself being there. We will have discussions for Tobago. We want to ensure that the entire public service in Tobago is restructured and reorganized. Reorganized so as to ensure that we give the best of our services to those who are in need. One of the things about restructuring the public service is to ensure that we create a public service academy in Tobago. I heard my friend Fali Augustine, I sometimes call him the Joker, right, saying to us in the Tobago House of Assembly legislature, where we cannot make laws. It's just huff and puff and playing games up there. These guys are on huff and puff and play games. I heard him saying that he will create I think public service academy. I heard him saying that, and I'm saying, if you have said that, where is the public service training academy? Where is the place to train public servants? Where is the place? Public servants are lacking of training. What is happening in the public service? You come in and somebody who know the work train you the work. That is not good. We need to have a public service training academy in Tobago. Part of that training in the academy is what we call hospitality. In Tobago, we are naturally a kind of way. I am that kind of way too. We're naturally a kind of way. And we need to know how to be hospitable again to every single person who enters the doors of the government workplace seeking a service. We have to be calm under all circumstances, and we have to be respectful under all circumstances. It simply means that when coming to your performance appraisal report, that has to be redone so as to ensure that your level of hospitality to the internal customer, mean how you relate to your peers at work, and how you relate to the external customer, must be evaluated.
We have to win. We must
And based
win.
on that, you have certain allowances. So we're talking also, apart from the salary, something that is called performance-based pay. All right? It simply means that when you perform beyond the call of duty, you will be given a little extra something. I recall having a conversation with a guy from Dubai. And having a conversation, as we entered the airport, he was listening to me, but he wasn't replying. And at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation, he said, "Look, sorry sir, I was not being rude, but I have to do a certain amount of passports every hour. Once I do beyond that, I get a bonus. And I want to get my bonus." He's driven by excellence. He's driven by excellence. I'm saying it's time that Tobagonians be driven by excellence. Put a performance-based pay. So if you're working for $5,000, and we say you have to do this amount for $5,000, that's a $5,000 job right there. It's specific. This is a job. Anything beyond that, once it is identified, if we do these beyond that, you get an extra money performance-based pay. Yes, in Tobago, we want to introduce that for workers. It's a way that your money on a monthly basis could go beyond the $5,000, could go beyond the $6,700. Your money could go beyond. and you could go home feeling good. Where we going to find the money from? I'm going to tell you that in a while again. Where we going to find the money from? But I want you to understand, it's only the progressive democratic patriots could talk as this. When other politicians take the microphone and they talk, it's pure old talk and comments and this and that, as if Tobagonians don't have sense, don't have an appetite for academic conversation. We want to have academic conversation. And so send me to Trinidad. You're getting a pay, and you're getting a performance-based pay. That comes as if you're being paid on, there's a word for it, concessions, yeah? As if every time you do your job beyond excellent, you get a benefit for that. And those benefits doesn't have to necessarily be cash. It could be an extra day vacation. It could be a ticket to go to the movies with the family. It could be something. We have to come up with things that attract our people and make them excited about work. The workplace must also be one that allow these workers to enjoy coming to work. So we are now talking about putting into every single workplace on the island of Tobago a place where mothers can bring their children. That's right. Mothers who are working can bring their children there. Daycare center at the workplace for those working, yes. And we are talking about breastfeeding breaks. So your child there, you can say, look, my breastfeeding break now, I'm going to breastfeed my child because breast milk is still the best milk. If we're going to build a healthy culture and we're going to create a wage revolution, we must understand not all money is tangible. Some money is in the value you place upon your environment and your environment place upon you. So we want to say to you tonight, and I want to just give a little taste right there, right? We're going to bring in breastfeeding breaks. We're going to bring in centers for our children, homework centers in the evening time, where when they come and they're working late, as the case may be, they can do their homework. We spoke all of these things as PDP from way back when. We are going to do them. We are going to do them. I'm a man to my word. We are going to do those things because you must feel elated to come to work. You must be glad to come to work. It must happen. Be excited because when you're at work, you can make money. When you're at work, you're working for money that makes sense. Then we want to ensure that persons are treated fairly. We want to ensure that any case any worker would have against an employer takes place here right in Tobago. You don't have to go to Trinidad to go to an industrial court in Trinidad. You must come right here and have the industrial court come to you and all your matters heard here. It's going to tell the employers, look, you have to treat employees properly. But enough of that. Duke, where you getting the money from? Somebody saying that in the crowd, where you getting the money from? Let me tell you. You say you want to increase old age pension last time to 5,000. You want to make the lowest government worker 5,000. You want to make a clerk 6,007. What happened? You feel a union man? Where you getting the money from, Duke? Where we getting money from? When you vote for PDP in Tobago East, when you vote for PDP in Tobago West, when you vote for PDP as the best choice, what you are doing, you are making the PDP your negotiators for a better tomorrow. One of my skills is negotiation, right? And it's not huff and puff stuff. It's a smiley intellectual thing. It's about being perceptive to those who are before you and being able to get what you want and give them some of what they want. And so when we go down there with our 2 seats, if we have an even Steven as I expect it to happen, if we have 19 seats down in Trinidad, 39 seats in Trinidad, and we have the 2 seats across here, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to want those 2 seats. And if I want those 2 seats, we are saying let the Public Service Commission remain as it is, but we want a subsidiary permanently in Tobago. Yeah? Let the Industrial Court remain where it is in Trinidad, but we want a subsidiary in Tobago. We are saying we need a deputy CPO in Tobago, and we need to have our own negotiations here in Tobago, separate and apart from Trinidad. We need to have it because the cost of living is different. The environment is different. I could go on and on. Where the money is going to come from? We are going to also ask for 10% of a national budget. I will demand 10% of the national budget. If the budget is $60 billion,
belong to PDP. Nobody
they're
else.
going to ask for $6 billion. If the budget is $60 billion, we are going to ask for $6 billion, 10%. Currently now, our recurrent expenditure for labor and chalala, electricity, etc. is about $2 billion. It gives us $4 billion for development. $4 billion for development. We must develop Tobago quickly. We cannot wait. We cannot delay. We have to act quickly. Because once we do that quickly, we will be able to lift Tobago to a position where it cannot go back down. People refuse to lose after they have been lifted. And so as I close this meeting tonight, you have to follow us every single night. I want to let you know, we are about lifting Tobago higher. We believe in the principle, a rising tide lifts all boats. When we go to Trinidad as a PDP, we are going to lift all of Tobagonians, all of Tobagonians. It doesn't matter who you vote for. We will represent you. We will stand with you. Because at the end of the day, all are we are one family. And I'm here for you and your generation. I thank you very much, my people. Blessed night. Thank you.
PDP victory. The road now run, the journey rough. We foot strong and our skin tough. So many dots have been shown at us. Real Spartans never give up. Yeah. The winds of change blowing your way. Bust off those chains. It's a brand new day. It's not a dream. It is for real. You have to believe. PDP